Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael. Um, First, I'd like to thank you for taking interest in our class. And thanks to Siri and Jane from Phillip Futures for bringing to our attention the numerous questions that you might have and requiring clarification. Now, I'm going to try and do my best to clarify them for you. But should you have any further question beyond this, do feel free to drop us a line, perhaps contact Phillip Futures, and we'll try our best to resolve whatever question that you might have. Okay, now one of the most asked question that surfaced was regarding the content and like what is being taught and being presented in the class. In the broader sense, we are dealing with equity indices and commodities. We will be touching on predominantly SGX listed indices like the MSCI Singapore, the FTSE Taiwan, but we will also be touching on other exchanges like KLCI that's listed in Bursa Malaysia, as well as MSCI Singapore and Taiwan that's also listed in Hong Kong Exchange. On the commodity space, we will be dealing with the Bursa listed CPO, the crude palm oil futures, as well as the SGX listed TSR20 rubber futures. Now, this by no means represents an exhaustive list of possible products that you can trade. Like we said during the preview, what we are trying to teach here is rather than a simple, straightforward method. We want to teach you the idea, the way we go about trading things and trading day to day, actually. And we hope that with that knowledge, armed with that knowledge, you'll be able to extrapolate and become more independent, so to speak, as you adapt and explore new venues, new products for trading using the same ideas. Okay, and the good news is there's a lot of cross applicability based on the ideas that we will be showing and sharing with you. And a lot of our students have actually moved beyond whatever we have shared with them during the class. And in the same way, we hope that you can actually get to a point of doing that for yourself too. Okay. Now, next question I got a lot was about expected returns, ROIs, and things like that. Okay, now objectively speaking, I can't really pin my finger here and say that you're going to get this type of return and whatnot. Now, what I can share with you perhaps is that you must understand this is really a spectrum type of thing, because ultimately the returns will depend and varies with the individual. I mean, depending how much effort, how adaptive you become, and how good you are in gaining pace in what of the new type of trading strategies that you learn from the class per se. What I can share perhaps in a more objective manner is from our experience, our participants actually have a range of performance. At the top end of it, we are looking at something like 300% annualized return. And at the other end of the spectrum, it's still a respectable 50 to 60% type return. So I think in all fairness, probably something 60 plus percent ROI is likely achievable, although I can't promise you that really. But it's not without its kinks, obviously. You see, what I meant is like most of our participants started with us. It took some time for them to be able to gel, for them to be able to get comfortable with the things that we shown them and that we share with them. Now, eventually they got to a point, I mean, depending on individual, some took the whereabouts about 3 months, some of them took longer, 6 to 9 months perhaps. But I'm glad and actually very happy to share with you that most of them are doing consistently well these days after the initial teething period. So it's actually comforting to know for us that this is something we taught and we hope, and it did became something that's repeatable, consistent, and useful for our participants, so to speak. Yep. So we hope we can do that for you too, all right, during the class. Okay, now the next question is regarding the, let's give me 2 seconds here. Right, how are we going to do it differently this time from our class 2 years ago in 2019? Now, we were shut up for a while because of the COVID restriction, so we were unable to conduct classes because Understand the design of our class is such that we need a physical interaction with the students where we'll actually handhold them through a simulated trading environment with live trading data. Now, why do we do that? Well, as you know and are probably aware, there are a lot of trading type classes and courses out there and whatnot, right? And what we pride ourselves and we think we're doing differently and importantly is actually when we realize the hardest part of all these coming out of all these classes and courses and whatnot is actually the implementation part. What I mean is like bringing an idea from classroom and implement it in a real trading environment. That is actually the hardest part for most of our participants in the past. And we thought we would be doing everybody a favor and not just teach you theoretical knowledge and classroom knowledge. And we want to actually help you, handhold you to a point where we actually get you to implement those ideas in a simulated environment with live trading data, like I said earlier. The hope is actually to see you get to a point where you're comfortable enough to implement the knowledge they acquire during the class. And I think that is vitally important because otherwise it could be teaching you all the knowledge of trading in the world and you wouldn't be any better off at not being able to implement it in the market. Okay, and that's how we are doing it differently, and that's how we hope we can do for you. So in that sense, we are only able to, after 2 years break, to conduct a physical class per se. And like I said, the mentoring part is one of the most crucial part of our class. And in that regard, we are the same. However, given the changes over the 2 years, what I meant changes is like market conditions. This is the one constant element of the market is like keeps evolving, right? Market conditions, participants coming in and going away, and the availability of new information, new trading methods, new approach, for example, would somewhat change the dynamic of trading itself. So I'm with that knowledge because we're trading on a day-to-day basis. We see these changes on a regular basis. We adapt, and it's something we also hope to teach you how to adapt, for example, to become independent. And with these changes in the new market dynamics, what changes probably from 2 years ago, if I might say, is actually the way we approach the market for certain methodology that we taught in 2019, for example, will probably be not less relevant, but rather will have to actually be approached with a new method of execution. So the good thing about our classes is in the sense that it's being taught by a team of active traders. These guys trade day to day, and they're still trading as we speak. And they bring with them, other than their long period of knowledge, obviously, is the currency of the market. Basically, they are doing this, and they know the changes in the market, and they have to know, okay, do this professionally and profitably. And we hope to share with you, in that sense, the currency in terms of the knowledge as well as the methodology that we have been employing on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Okay. Now, beyond that, there are questions regarding suitability. What I meant is like, who should this class be for and who should sign up? Well, the short answer is, I think anyone who wishes to up their trading game, who is serious about taking their trading to the next level and doing this professionally, in a sense, is a suitable candidate for this class. Now, why do I keep stressing that we trade professionally? Is because of the way we approach trading. We treat this more or less like a business because we are doing this for the long haul. And we want to do it with obviously some consistency and be profitable so that we may build whatever we set up to build. And we hope to teach in a way, not just the strategy, the approach as well, and mold you into trading in that type of mentality. So it requires certain changes and whatnot. It doesn't matter whether you're a retail investor or you're a professional trader that's with many years of experience. I think there is something to be had for everyone who's attending the class. Okay. The most important takeaway is we want to teach you not just a method, but idea. Basically the trading idea of how to get yourself from where you currently are to a better place and to do this with a certain confidence and consistency, and to help you do this for the long haul. And that's what we're trying to achieve here. Okay. And I think finally, they were asking about the type of setup that we have, how are we going to help, and whether we'll be providing support and stuff like that beyond the class. What we certainly do, but like I mentioned in the preview, I do not want to overpromise. We certainly can't, because we are still trading on a full-time basis. And as we speak, and as I was doing this video, I'm still watching the screens here. So you got to understand, as much as we want to help you, we cannot be doing it on a real-time basis. But rest assured, the support will always be there. We're still speaking to a lot of our past students who regularly come back to us with questions or certain ideas that they deliberate with us, for example. So we like that, actually. That's through this that we learn from them as much as they learn from us, and we hope that that kind of relationship can persist for as long as feasible for you and for us especially. In that regard, we will try our very best to be able to help you in all sorts of manner that we can certainly help you. We will be more than willing to do it. And beyond that type of support, we will be during the class, we'll be doing the setup for you. I mean, we're helping you, teach you how to do the setup in the best possible manner to carry out the ideas that we'll be sharing with you. Okay, trading is not just about an idea, it's also about efficiency in executing those ideas. And that's why we wanted to do the hand-holding part, because it's vitally important, not just to get a good idea, but to be able to have the facility, the ability to implement it in the most efficient manner possible. Okay, now I may not have answered or addressed all your questions, but rest assured, if there was any further question that requires clarification, just drop us a mail or perhaps contact Phillip, and they will relay your questions or query to us, and we will try our very best to answer all of them if possible. Okay, all right, guys, have a nice day, and I hope to see you at the class. All right, take care.